So, one thing that we do a lot of on this show is talk politics.
Oh,
right?
very political. Yeah.
As we're recording this show, it is Election Day.
Yep.
As you're first hearing this show, we have a new president.
Whew.
That's kind of exciting.
Very much so.
It's such a great sporting event to watch Election Day, and that's how I tie it into our show, Brevin.
I love it.
Because it's like Game 7, and it's like, I hate your team, and this person hates my team, and you hate the other team.
No matter what.
You hate the other team, so you're rooting for your team. You're watching the scores come in, and it's like, the whole night, and then all of a sudden your team wins, and it's like, yeah, we won. Or your team loses, and it's like, we was robbed. Yeah. and then no, there's the protest. We gotta protest the match. And it's like it's all on the line. And so as you're listening to this, happy new President's Day.
Yes.
So Brevin, break it down. What's gonna? I'm joking. I'm
gonna break it down to this point. Hopefully, everyone gets out there and exercises their right.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, whatever those results are, that everyone accepts what those results are. The thing about what you said is, yes, you'll be upset that your person didn't win, but there is a winner and a loser in this. Just like there's a winner and a loser in sports. And so that's the biggest takeaway I get from it. Like, you're gonna have your reasons why you go which way you went, and that'll be it. But I'm just hoping that everyone gets out there and does their best and votes whichever way their hearts takes them. Hopefully it's towards Harris, but wait, listen. I just say that, but it's
there you go, talking politics. Jeez.
But no, everybody get out there and vote. It's gonna be a great day.
Welcome to Night Court. This is the podcast. Welcome to the program. If you're listening to the show, you can also watch the show on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Search Night Court and you'll be able to find us, and you can watch each and every episode. If you're listening, though, thank you for listening wherever you get your podcasts. He's Brevin Knight. You can follow him on Twitter at BrevinKnight22. I'm Rob Fisher on Twitter at TheFishNation, and the show is on Twitter at NightCourt22. All right. So last week I had one word associated with each game that we had played. This week I got 2 words.
Okay.
2 words for each game, all right? So we played Brooklyn. Just beat.
Yes. That's a good one.
Against Milwaukee. Ass pass.
Man, you know how much I love Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So I was very excited.
We saw an ass pass and an ass whooping.
Boy, it was great. And I even had somebody tweet at me and say that you act like you don't like the Bucks. I don't.
Nope.
I don't like the Bucks, and I don't like them for what they did to Adrian Griffin. That's just And I've made it clear. I haven't silent. I don't like them for that reason.
Yeah. Okay. At Philadelphia, messy process.
Whew. Boy, that's a good one. I mean, they got issues. They got some issues. It's you have on the court issues because you have the injuries. Paul George finally came back, but when your guys aren't playing, but then you get into the whole thing back and forth with your beat writers or the people that are covering your team, and then it escalates to where it did with Joel Embiid. Yeah, you got issues.
And then at Brooklyn. Beat again.
They
swept in the season
swept
series.
In the season by the Brooklyn Nets. I don't think many people would have expected that.
No.
But they beat the Grizzlies. They were the scrappier team. They wanted it more, and this next game was just a continuation of the second half of the first game, which was they dictated what they wanted to get done, and at the end, pulled out the victory.
Why, Brevin, did they pull off not the victory, 2 victories this week over the Grizzlies? Although I'll say this, since the season has begun, I still think there's one game you gave away. That was the Chicago game.
Yes. Oh, yes. The 20-point
These 2
lead.
games you were beat, but against Brooklyn, I mean, you'll be upset about those.
And what makes it more upset is both of them were on the second night of a back-to-back for Brooklyn.
Yeah.
When the Grizzlies were the resting team. And I think the smaller lineups really gave the Grizzlies issues. Whereas you thought maybe with those smaller lineups that would allow the Grizzlies to dominate. In the first game, Jaren dominated with the only 10 of 12, he had 30 in that game. And you thought, well, coming back into this game, they get Claxton back, but then they still lose 2 other bigs. So literally they were playing their game with just guards and forwards. And they were able to, their quickness, their tenacity, outdueled our size in that. So you give them Dennis Schroeder was a pain in the ass again. And he has been that for this Grizzlies team in whatever uniform he's worn. And it just continued in these 2 games.
He's put together a nice little career, hasn't he?
Man, from what he's been able to do in the league, what he's done in international basketball for Germany, he's one of those guys that, yes, people will not talk. He won't be a household name. You won't talk about him. But when he goes out there and plays, you're like, man, that dude is good.
You're right. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just against us.
No. It's the reason why Germany won the FIBA championship a couple of years ago. Him at the helm leading things. It's the reason why when he was with the Lakers, he dominated us. I mean, whatever team he's been with, he's done that but he does that to the entire association. It's the way he plays the game.
You knew after the first Brooklyn loss, that was 2 losses in a row, you knew Ja was going to come out and perform. He was very salty in the locker room after the Brooklyn game. And he came out and he was magnificent. I mean, it was one of those games. You said it numerous times on the broadcast, and I didn't get to talk to you post-game because you lost your voice. We'll get to that in a minute. But you said it on the broadcast a couple of times. It was like his playground.
It was one of the few times that an NBA game, to me, had turned into a rec game, and not in a rec game with high-level players, is what I'm saying. Not that doggone rec league game just around the corner. Right. Not that. With high-level players in that you're out there hooping, no officials, call your own fouls, but everybody's getting it in. And that was where that's where his mindset was. He wasn't going to be stopped. He was going to create highlight plays, solid plays, create pace, play deep. He did all of the basketball things, but he took it back to the park while doing things in the NBA. And it was, to me, it's fantastic to be able to see somebody who can do that in an NBA game, but it's not just for show.
Right.
It's substance to it all.
Yeah. It's
He was fantastic. That was
awesome.
That was one of the more fun games to call, and really just to be there and watch.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it was like, oh wait, I gotta call something, but I'm doing a job. But I almost got him to be like, whew, boy, this is good.
Yeah. They told him he was doing the walk-off with me, and he was like, me? And I was like, what?
But that's how locked in he was.
He was.
He was just playing basketball. It wasn't, we got to run this play, we're going to do it. No, they executed it, but it was just their job.
Milwaukee's bad.
Milwaukee is getting what they deserve. They're getting what they deserve. They didn't change their, oh yeah, that's the other thing the person tweeted. And you said they didn't change their route. We got new rotational players. I'm like, Gary Trent Jr. is your upgrade pickup, and you telling me that me saying that your team is the same as you were last year, that's wrong. It's the same damn team that they were last year that didn't excel. It's the same two, right? Without Middleton, it's the same 2 guys who can have big nights together and you still lose.
You did say on the broadcast, Middleton might as well be a coach. Oh. And I know you got a tweet about that one.
You know I did. At this point in time, if as few games as he's able to play, then his influence becomes the same as a coach. That's just the reality. I mean, it's not. There's no way, shape, or form not say the brother's not good. He's still a high-level basketball player. The fact that the injuries have marred a lot of his play in the last couple of seasons put him in a position of being more of a voice to the team than a player on the team.
And him coming back doesn't change it enough.
Not at all. They have fundamental problems with that basketball team.
I hope it doesn't lead to Giannis leaving.
I can tell you, for me, I don't care. He can leave, go somewhere. do something else. What they did was an absolute travesty to Adrian Griffin, bro. You hire a guy, you're the second best team in the doggone NBA.
In the league.
In the league, and you get fired.
Because
we don't think that you can take us to where we're going. What the fuck else you want me to do? What else?
So we're going to get Doc Rivers.
The most winningest coach in the NBA. Is that what he is?
Yeah. It's also the losingest coach.
I was asking you. I didn't know if he. I don't know what his. I don't know what his record is. But it was. He had been out of coaching. They did it. So whatever happens to them, not in a positive, I'm fine with.
Yeah, they're a mess. Philly. Okay, so then we go to Philly, and that was nice.
Philly was good.
Good win in Philadelphia. Get on the road. You go a 2-game trip. You win that first one.
Yep.
That always feels good. And
probably we found something. We found a little something in that game. And it wasn't even on the offensive side. It was Jaylen Wells is for real good.
He is.
Jaylen Wells is for real good. And I'm not going to say at the beginning of the year, we talked about who would be the breakout player on our pregame show.
Yeah, we did.
I'm not going to say who was the guy that said they really felt like Jaylen Wells would be the guy that took some huge steps forward here really early. I might have to go back to the tape and see on that who picked that guy. But whoever picked him, man, definitely had a little. He's a genius. Forethought. He saw something. Something that he saw. I don't know what it was.
All he saw was a guy who played in the Pac-12. That's it. And he was like, he's a Pac-12 guy. He must be good.
Yeah, it must be because he saw him play in the Pac-12. He saw him play. And then they got an opportunity to get him on the court. And I said, well, let me just see if in person is it that way. Saw it in the beginning. I said, I think this kid's good.
You know what I like about him? I like a lot of things about him. But one thing is he never looked like he was out of the moment.
Yep.
Never. I mean, even took some big shots.
Yes.
Even. And some that maybe weren't as big as shots that he took, but just looked as calm and cool in all situations.
Yeah, the thing that took that got my attention was, like you said, when people look like in every scenario. Like before we were talking about you coming off the bench. Now you're playing against bench guys. You know, this is role people. What's that really look like? But then we moved him to the starting lineup, and it was like he elevated himself. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like he went to the starting lineup and it was like, oh, I'm out here now with Ja and Jaren and Edey and Santi. Like, I'm just out here. No, it wasn't I'm just out here. It was like, let's go hoop.
Yeah.
Y'all swing it to me and I'm open, feet ready, I'm gonna knock this down. They run at me, I'm gonna put it on the floor. Slow move, drop it off, or I'm gonna finish. And now you go on the defensive side. That's why I said when he defended Maxey, I said I gotta really lock in and watch how he defends. And why he's a good defender, number one, he has the tangibles of the length, the size, but he also does a great job of when a player makes a move. So many people that play defense, you know, I enjoy defense. So many times I always wonder when guys play defense and someone makes a move, as a defender, so many people take a step towards the offensive guy. And I'm always like, well, if you're stepping towards and they're going, now you're putting yourself in position for a foul, but you're also allowing them to get an advantage. And then all offensive players want is a half-step advantage to be able to go where they want. But what he does is the way I play defense, which is when I never got into a stance. He does that better than me. I never did a stance. I just stood there. But once you made a move, if you made a move this way, I would drop this foot to beat you to this spot. Not try to beat you laterally while you're moving. That's what he does. Guys make moves. He takes a half step away so I can beat you at the next spot. Not try to ride you where I want you to go. And so what happens with that is when you go to make another move, all I have to do is I'm sliding, you step back. Now he just has to change momentum. He doesn't have to go ride you. Now you step back. Oh, my momentum is going wrong. I can't get back.
Right.
And so it was to see him do what he did offense. It's the defensive side for me that really, really opened my eyes to say, this dude is it's going to be hell for them. Talking about Taylor and the staff when Gigi comes back, when Vince comes back, when Luke comes back, when Marcus comes back, when Dez comes back, what do you do with Jaylen? This is not, sometimes it's like, well, these guys are placeholders until our guys get back. No placeholder. You're going to have to figure out how do we continue to work him into this rotation.
He's been that good, yes. That's been fun to watch for sure. In Brooklyn, the second Brooklyn game, Zach Edey had a big game. I think Zach Edey had a good week.
He did. Zach is coming along. Like, the thing that we said for Zach was it wasn't like he has to be some big double-double every night, score 20 points. He just has to be impactful. And for him, I give him credit. He is learning this game quickly. We said at the beginning, every night is going to be different in the NBA. In college, you pretty much know what you're going to do. They can play a zone. They can sit on you. There's not going to be so much of a difference in the athleticism if this guy's a shooter. But in the league, you're going to have all type bigs in the NBA. And so he had to get accustomed to defending those type players, but then also how is he going to be defended? And I think in the beginning, we saw a lot of him being able to be pushed off of his spots, pushed off your spot. A lot better job now of claiming his spot. And this is mine, and now I'm going to make moves from here. And also catching and finishing quicker. Catch and finish. And if I'm not finished, I'm holding the ear till y'all jump, and now I go finish.
You talked about it with me, getting a little arc on that hook.
Got a little arc on the hook again. We went through about 2 or 3 games where he was turning, it was quick shooting. Which is like I turned on quick shot. It's almost like he was just, now because you're tall, of course, it's almost like you're shooting down. But you don't want to shoot down because now you're just, remember we were getting in front of the rim and maybe it would go in or it was front, back, off.
Yeah.
No, so listen. He talked about himself. He came into college as a kid who really didn't know much about basketball. He finished college 2-time Player of the Year. That lets you know that he's willing to grow and understand it. So we've seen growth every night from him.
Yeah. Oblique injuries used to be a baseball thing. Never really heard about it in basketball. And then Desmond Bain strained one, and then Paolo Banchero tore his oblique. He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
That's somewhere in here, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like in, I think it's like the stomach.
Okay. Make sure I do my crunches. Make sure when for my golf swing, I don't need an oblique injury because that's gonna hurt my turn.
Oh yeah, you can't do that. You can't golf with an oblique.
No. So I'm gonna make sure I don't make any sudden movements.
No, I don't know how you stretch for your oblique, but just get loose. But yeah, so Dez is week to week. Smart's week to week, Vince 2 to 4 weeks, and then Kennard's ramping up. So hopefully they'll start trickling back into the lineup for the Grizzlies. So what did you do on the road? We went to Philly. Did you do anything good in Philly?
No, you know how I was.
Oh, that's right. So you lost your voice against Milwaukee. You fought through it. I give you a lot of credit because you. From the pregame show until the end of the broadcast, it was like, oh my God, his voice is almost gone. And you're fighting through it. And you fought through it really well. And I show up at the postgame show, and Brevin looks at me and says, don't ask me anything. I can't talk. And I was like, go home, dude. Get out of here.
Well, so that was that was the first time that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, lost the voice.
And so Philly, I did a lot of drinking tea.
I had to talk for him on the plane.
Yes, he's my
interpreter.
He was a ventriloquist. Like the words would come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But that was the first, man. And for people that haven't been through it or those that go through it and have to do a talking job, it's hard to try to get it back because you remember we go to the Philly game.
Yeah.
I can't do the pregame show because now we have to be.
We have to limit your words.
we say don't do the pregame show because we need you to at least call the game.
Yeah, we had to load manage at that point.
So, but I can tell you this: I appreciated everybody, you and Pete for going on and doing the pregame show that night, and I gotta give a shout out to my boy Michael Wallace. We got to the hotel and he texted me that next day and was like, Rep, do you need me to go to the store and get you some medicine? Or you need me to bring you some food? And I was like, Wallace, I appreciate you, but I'm gonna battle this out. And so.
And the thing was, you felt fine.
That was the crazy part. It was like, physically, I felt like everything's good. I just can't talk.
Yeah.
But But we got through it, we did the game, and it was just like out of nowhere, it snapped back in. And so, so I did nothing. Philly was a wash. Then we get to New York, and I am tempted to go across the river to go home.
Right.
We got the marathon going on. You can't move anywhere. And then it's just to get back to the city. So I enjoyed the city, walked around a little bit, went to the World Trade Center, had to go to Target, get some more meds.
Well, we were close to the World Trade Center, and I went to that bar, that I go to all the time, O'Hara's.
Did y'all see the owner?
We didn't see him because we were there in the afternoon. I think he's always there at night.
Gotcha.
But we'll go back when we go play the Knicks. But Ross Wooden, one of our PR guys, he had never seen the reflection pools. So we went over there and we walked around a little bit and looked at that. And so that was neat to see. I always just struggle to find the right word. I kept telling Ross, I'm like, it's awesome emotionally,
Right.
I mean, it's not awesome, obviously, but it's you get there and it truly hits you in the heart. It's amazing. And then we started talking about how all these guys are playing now that weren't even alive. Which is incredible because of how much we remember every minute of that day,
For them, it's just history.
Right, exactly. They're going to read it they read it in a book.
Right, you can watch
or not in a book, they read it on the computer.
I'm about to say book. Do they have books anymore? I don't even think they have just textbooks.
Yeah.
Do the kids today know what textbooks are?
I don't think so. No
way.
No. I went around in New York in the West Village.
You guys went on a haul that day.
We went to like 5 different places watching football, just trying to find a different place and trying to find a better place, and ended up going to 5 different places, walked a lot, so shut it down early that night. My goodness. And in Philly, I went to McGillen's Old Ale House.
McGillen's Old Ale House.
It's the oldest ale house in America.
How was it?
It's great. Been there before. It was great until it wasn't.
One of those places.
It was great, and then literally like that. The music was loud. The place was packed. People were bumping into me while I'm sitting on my table. It turned out it wasn't great anymore.
I know what that means for you. Time to go.
Looked around and thought, oh my God, we're the old people. Time to get out of here. So we got the hell out.
Well, I'd say in New York,
but it was fun. And we got Philly cheesesteaks, so that was good. I had a couple of them. You couldn't eat them because of the voice.
Couldn't even eat it. I got on the bus, took 2 bites of it. After the game, was like, I can't do this.
I sat at a bar in Philly on Saturday. It was game day, and had lunch. And the Penn State game was on, and it's a Penn State bar. We had seats at the bar, which was great, but we were surrounded by Penn State people, and they're just like the election people. Come on, ref, you suck! I mean, every call it both ways, call it both ways. And the best was the one guy who started yelling at the crowd, get louder! Not the crowd in the bar, the crowd at the game.
Those are the people that they cut. What fan is, they say, is short for fanatic.
Yes.
He's the fanatic.
That's what
part
he
of
was.
The fan.
Oh man, it was.
And they walked out of there upset again. But James Franklin just can't win against a top 5 team.
No, he didn't do it again. It was unfortunate. All right, we got the Lakers this week.
Yep.
And
well, we're not gonna skip over Sunday. One thing, my anemic Giants.
Wait, no, we'll get there.
Okay.
But I just want to finish up the Grizz.
All right, go ahead.
Lakers on Wednesday.
They lost to Detroit. That would be their game leading up to us. Will be that loss to Detroit. And Detroit, they had won 2 games in a row. Hey, the Lakers are still. They're no different than the Lakers are. It's still LeBron James. And I think if you look at the numbers, I think Anthony Davis had a heck of a game against Detroit. But it's Kevin Love, Minnesota numbers. Doesn't end in a victory.
Yeah.
It's the reason why LeBron James is still
Old radio partner of mine used to call them plastic points.
I like that. Plastic points. But it's why LeBron is still the leader of that team. I mean, every year since they've gotten Anthony Davis, they've said, LeBron, the organization, they're like, we're transitioning to Anthony Davis.
Yeah. It's still LeBron.
But it'll be fun. The building, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of purple and gold.
That's all right.
That's just how it is. But, you know, we've grown accustomed to that. And I think what it does, it just adds a little fuel to our team when you go in and do that.
And I'll just remind people out there once again, that happens everywhere the Lakers go.
100%.
That's not a Memphis thing. What's wrong with Memphis people? No. That happens in every arena the Lakers play in.
Yes.
That they have Lakers fans show up out of nowhere.
Well, how about this? Now that Ja Morant is back, the Grizzlies turn into. We were in Brooklyn, that Brooklyn game, and I started looking around like, man, I see more Grizzlies jerseys than Brooklyn Nets jerseys. Not saying that the fans weren't for Brooklyn. I'm saying just in terms of the jerseys that were there.
The introduction in Philadelphia was loud. Applause for Ja Morant.
Again, when we were in Philly, mm-hmm. You see more Grizzlies jerseys than the other team's jerseys in the stands.
Yeah. All right, then Washington. Got anything on them?
Wizards?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. They got Richarche, don't they?
No, he's in Atlanta.
Oh no, Sarr. They got Sarr.
Yeah. I mean, two dudes that are just projects that will, for those organizations, hopefully pan out down the road. But I don't. The Washington still has the guy from Golden State, right? Jordan Poole.
Yeah,
he's there.
Yeah.
I know Tyus is gone.
Yeah.
Outside of that, and then they have the other Laker guy. 33, Kuzma.
Kuz, yeah.
You know I'm bad with names. I'm good with numbers, horrible with names.
Yeah. Then a 3-game trip: Portland, Lakers, Golden State.
That'll be a good test for this team because there's space in between the games on that road trip. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's not bang bang. So the guys will have time to play a game, get themselves ready to go. And when you start playing these Western Conference teams, you want to see how you stack up. We've had a big Eastern Conference run here early in the year. We're about to start to get to the Western Conference.
Yeah.
This team, they're just not good. This is not a good team. We've kind of tiptoed around it the last couple of weeks and been like, well, they're taking the foot off the gas. They're being conservative. Yada yada yada. They're just not a good football team. I mean,
but we saw this coming.
Yes,
from a mile and a half away.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. We haven't been able to come out and really say it yet because they're winning ball games. Just the eye test, they're not a good football team. It spurts where they're a good football team, but just as a whole, they're not. Play calling is so out of sync. Yep. It's insane. There's no flow. There's no feel to it.
I understand there's a consistency to this program that was never there before. I feel like there's people out there that are almost afraid to ask for more, to demand more, to realize that there's more for this program to accomplish.
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
The defense was good, I think, the whole time, right? I don't think anyone could truly complain too much about the defense, but it's the one thing I think. It was the obvious thing is the turnovers for sure.
Yeah, I think at half, Mizzou it was like 24-10 as far as points off turnovers or something. They were up 10, obviously, at the half. You outscored them by 18. And Missouri had 3 turnovers at halftime, had 11 in the second half. So you really cranked up the defensive pressure. I just saw where Coach Gates even said that defensively, the press and our intensity, he was like, it was a night and day difference, first half versus second half. They really turned it up. Looked like a team of a Penny Hardaway coached defensive team in that second half for sure, I would say.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Zachary Richachet, by the way, he said this week in an interview, back in France I was super athletic, now I'm just a regular dude.
Welcome to the NBA.
Way to keep it real.
Know what I like about that comment though? What you just said. He just kept it real. He didn't try to fake it. He's like, I'm enjoying being here, but damn, these dudes are good.
Right. Joe Mazzulla says he wants some rule changes. He wants the league to add a power play, where a guy would like sit out, like potentially for a possession, or like you'd have to, if the ball is inbounded, you can't come in until the ball gets over center court, something like that.
Joe.
And he wants to bring back fighting. He said the biggest thing that we rob people of from an entertainment standpoint is that you can't fight anymore. I wish you could bring back fighting.
No, what that tells me?
But
they don't got shit else to do because they just win so easily. He's bored. They got nothing else to do. Like this is like every other coach in the NBA, the other 29 coaches in the NBA are trying to figure out how can my team get better?
Right.
You know how can we ascend to being a championship team? Joe Mazzulla sitting back like, bring back fighting.
let's bring back fighting.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and know what? How about we take one player off the court and see can you play 5-on-4 long enough and can you score? Bro, that means your team is that good that you literally got to sit back and create.
Think of rule changes.
And try to create a disadvantage to yourself so that the game can be even. Your team is that much better than the rest of the teams. They literally has come up with some off-the-wall shit because we're that good. Like, I mean, look, we go into the office, I say, well, put forth the game plan. It's like, how about we not play this guy tonight? You think they can get close to us if we don't play him?
Man, Joe was
Joe, 29 other people wish they had your issues right now.
The college basketball season started last night.
Yes.
We're underway. When do you start like getting into college basketball?
I'm into it now, and unfortunately, my nephew, they played last night. NJIT played Penn. They got off to a great start, but they lost. So my nephew's there, NJIT, so I'm locked in. You know, my brother's over at Rutgers. Mm-hmm. So I watch him, and then I got two of my players.
Oh,
man, that was a quick one. I got a couple of my players from AAU. They have made it to college, and so I have to watch. One's at Boston College, and so because of that, then, but only for relations.
Right.
Am I into college basketball? Outside of that, I'm really not worried about it. And then Stanford got their first win against Denver yesterday. So that's the only reason why college basketball is on my mind at all. Outside of that, I'll
be into it for betting.
Yes, that's how you get into all of these other sports.
Yeah. In the Shield, by the way, shout out to the Memphis Tigers for getting a win.
They got a win.
They knocked off the Missouri Tigers in their opener.
That's the other one I'll pay attention. Memphis played.
They did have a player leave the program, though, 5 hours before the opener.
I'm guessing it was an NIL issue. I'm telling you, this NIL thing is I am one that is for the guys. Sure, you're going to be paid, it's fine, but the way that is going is out of hand.
Yes.
And I tell you all the time, it's very good that I'm doing what I'm doing and not coaching.
Oh.
Because this would be guy come in and tell me I want this. All right, bye.
You want
find me somebody?
what?
Yeah, find me somebody else. And then on this, I'll deal with this to a certain extent. But when you're not performing, I want my money back.
Yeah.
You going out there, you're not playing well, and we ain't winning. I want my money back.
Yeah. No kidding. All right, football, Shield. It's pretty amazing. The Kansas City Chiefs, I have two teams that I follow, that I root for in the National Football League. The Kansas City Chiefs, who are the only undefeated team in the league, and my Arizona Cardinals in first place in the NFC West. How about that?
Oh, Kyler Murray out there.
Who thought that was going to happen? Go Cardinals. Go Big Red.
Who thought that?
Yeah. So
Who thought we would be talking about Kansas City and why they're good is because their defense is good.
Yeah.
You know, like Mahomes, of course, is just the ultimate game manager, but their defense has stepped up.
And the thing is, Mahomes is going to make a play.
It's just nice to have.
I mean, the defense is what has you in position to win, and when you need a play made, Mahomes is going to make the play.
They're like the Boston Celtics of the NFL.
Andy Reid's talking about how there should be a penalty box.
The penalty box. Take one of my guys off the field, man. Give these guys a chance.
Dennis Allen was fired.
Yeah. Haven't been good since he's been there.
Mike McCarthy somehow I thought he was going to get it after the Atlanta game. I thought it was happening. And Dak's hurt. I mean, why not?
This is the only thing that is keeping me going with NFL football this year is the demise of the Cowboys.
Yeah, the demise.
That's literally the only thing that has this smile on my face for football.
Yeah.
Because other than that, this is a smile turned down. It's a frown with the freaking Giants.
You didn't go to the Giants game on Sunday.
Listen, I put it on that. We were right there. Easily could have gone over and seen your team. Why would you not go over?
Right.
See, Michael Wallace asked, he's a Commanders fan. He's like, you thinking about going to a game? I said, hell no. And for all those people who continue to be season ticket holders, you should stop being season ticket holders. Why continue to support mediocrity? Why continue to support an organization who feels as though the people in the front office are bigger than the players? Like, we literally are watching a guy down 95 who was killing, and you're going to tell me that we couldn't sign him, we're going to go this route because we got all these other people that can fill his role? Stop it. The only reason why teams are good in the NFL and any professional sport, because you put the players on the field that are good enough to get it done. Not because your ass is going to get some recognition for what you did. Stay in the background. No, you're in New York. They want to be right in the forefront. We're going to get this done. Well, Joe, we're shit. We stink. We continue to stink for years. And I'm tired of supporting it. So no, I wasn't going to the game. I'm not giving them any more money. I hate that I got to give them time.
Did you watch the game?
Heck no, I didn't watch it.
You sure?
I watched it.
I had no choice. I went to O'Hara's, and they have 20 TVs, and they were all on the Giants-Commanders game. All of them.
Fish, we had -8 passing yards and a half of football.
Yeah. It wasn't
And
good.
our quarterback threw a touchdown pass. Can you imagine that? You throw a touchdown pass, but in the entire, you have -8 yards. And again, everybody's like, well, they played well in the second half. I keep telling you, when you keep wanting that almost means your ass. It's the same thing. It's all it is. That's all it is.
Dodgers won the World Series.
Congratulations.
Good for them.
So. Magic Johnson wins another championship.
Happy for Shohei. Happy for Shohei.
Yep.
All right, a toast. Do you have any toasts?
Well, I got to toast all the security people here at Southland TPC. You guys they do a fantastic job, and not only do they do a good job here, but I enjoy the fact that they tune in and watch the podcast.
Yeah.
And so whenever you guys come, I think they almost get more excited for seeing you and Kenny come to do this taping than it is for me to come home.
Well, I know you say this because we have so much respect for them because we're the ones that come up to you and tell you, hey, talk to whoever at the gate today, and so they're wonderful and take care of us. Absolutely, thank you. Megan Triplett, we saw her last night.
Yes.
Former Grind City Media member, Megan Triplett, used to do the show with Jessica Benson in the mornings on Grind City Media.
Yep.
She also did some of the stuff on the floor on our broadcast for the post-game show, the Rewind, and she did the Pre-Wind. She did a bunch of stuff for Grind City Media. She's now doing sidelines for the Brooklyn Nets and doing a bang-up job for the Nets, doing an awesome job. And every time I see her, I'm so excited to see her, so proud of her as well. And so shout out
Megan.
Toast to Megan Triplett as well.
Yeah, I would say whenever we see Megan, it's just such a big smile. She makes you feel. She always makes you feel good. With
Absolutely. So happy to see her. And shout out to Unique Snacks. I got a big box in the mail today. Unique snacks. I got some pretzels. Go get them at Fresh Market. You can also get them at Kroger, but you can get all the kinds they have at Fresh Market. Unique snack pretzels.
Unique snack better start doing something for Night Court. But I'll just
I'll get you some pretzels.
I'll get a shout out to Southwind, member guest. Only thing is I paid to play in this, so they owe me this.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the show. Thank you for watching here on Bluff City Media YouTube channel, or thank you for listening wherever you get your podcasts. For Brevin Knight, I'm Rob Fisher. We will talk to you again next week here on Night Court.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Night Court podcast. If you enjoyed Rob and Brevin, hit that like button, subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and enjoy the content. We will see you back here next time.